Charles, there's a question, though, about whether this bill is really deficit neutral. And that's one of the things that the CBO letter at least started to point to, and a lot of Republicans jumped on, because it could mean a swing of some $300 billion, not including the doctor fix, which is $200 billion plus that is voted on outside of this bill.
Let me take a hack at this. The bill calls for cutting $500 billion out of Medicare. Now, if you do that, you can either put the money away, squirrel it in a hole in the Al Gore lockbox, and save it for the future cost of Medicare, and that would extend the life of Medicare by 10 years.
Which is what Senator Reid says.
Right. Or you can take the same $500 billion, put it in the Treasury, and have the Treasury use it to offset the $1 trillion extra cost of the new entitlement of insuring the uninsured, because it costs a lot of money. If you do the latter, you end up with a good number on the deficit, a surplus of 130. Well, that involves a lot of shenanigans as well, but exclude all of the other shenanigans. However, the money is then already spent, and you can't squirrel it away in Medicare, so you aren't extending it 10 years. So when you hear Harry Reid stand up there and say we have extended Medicare by a decade and achieved deficit neutrality, he's either obtuse or cynical. I suspect a modicum of both. You can do one or the other. Now, the money generally for Social Security and Medicare ends up immediately in the Treasury and is spent. There is no trust fund. It's a fiction. It's a box in Virginia which has pieces of paper in it, which means nothing. But you can't have a claim that you're going to extend the Medicare and be deficit neutral. The reason this is damaging is because if you do actually have a cut of $500 billion and you spend immediately, as we are going to spend it, on expanding on a new entitlement, insuring the uninsured, then a potential saving in Medicare in the future is taken away, and Medicare will go over a cliff.
Quickly, Charles.
It bends the curve upward and not downward. It takes $500 billion of savings that you need in the future to keep Medicare alive, and you're spending it now on a new entitlement. And that's why it damages the deficit outlook, and it's a threat ultimately to Medicare and to the budget.